As part of this demonstration, we are going to learn how to create the storage account, and once we will create the storage account, we'll also see how to connect that storage account with Azure Storage Explorer tool, and upon connecting that successfully, we'll see how we can upload some files for our demonstration purposes. So let's go ahead and create a storage account. To create the storage account, as always, we have to come to the More Services section and search for storage account. Clicking on the storage account will take us to the storage dashboard, wherein you can click on the add button to start the storage account creation. The first thing which we have to provide under the storage account is the name of that storage account. Now remember one thing, the name of the storage account is something which has to be unique across the internet, and there are certain restrictions on what can go as part of the storage account name. Anything which has to go inside the storage account name, it has to be in lowercase. So let's go ahead and provide the storage account name. Let's give it as demo 2017 storage. Under the deployment model, you can choose either Resource Manager or Classic. Classic is the one which is kind of an older way of doing things. So we're going to select the Resource Manager because we want all the capabilities of storage accounts which is available on the new portal. Along with the capabilities of storage account, we also want to make use of resource group which bounds these storage accounts under one common platform. Now, under the account kind section, you can select either the general purpose or blob storage. Now remember, when you select the blob storage as account kind, it will allow you to have that option whether you want to create the data under hot access tier or cool access tier. Now hot access tier is equivalent to a normal blob storage, whereas the cool access tier is equivalent to a placeholder where the data has to be kept for archival purpose. If you go and select the cool access tier, the data charges for storage would be minimal, but the charges for accessing that data would be a bit higher as compared to the hot storage. Now if you go ahead and select the general purpose storage type, that is where you'll get all the four abstractions of storage, namely blobs, queues, tables and files. Now if you select the general purpose, then you won't have the option of selecting the cool storage or hot storage. It will by default create the hot storage for you. On the performance section, you can select the standard or the premium. Premium is something which is for SSD drives. We are not gonna play with that, so we will leave it as it is. Under the replication dropdown, you have the option of selecting how you want your data redundancy to be maintained. If you select the locally redundant storage option, Azure will go and keep your data in 3 different locations, but it would be redundant locally. That means the data will not go beyond the data center. If you select the geo redundance option, that means the copies of the data will be kept across the geographical location. So in that sense, Microsoft will create 3 copy to 1 geographical location, and it will create another 3 copy which is gonna be across the geographical location. In case of read access geo-redundant storage model, the geo-redundant storage which you have kept as 3 copy on the secondary location, that can be made as readable. Let's go ahead and select the locally redundant for our purposes. As always, you can select the resource group. If you have already created one, go ahead and use that from the existing section. If not, you can go ahead and click on the create new. We have already created a resource group, so we are going to search for that, and the name for our resource group is demo 2017 RG. Let's go ahead and select that. Now for location section, we are going to select Southeast Asia as we have been doing for all our demonstration. Once all the setting has been specified, let's go ahead and click on create. Once a storage account is created, please go ahead and select that. That will take us to the dashboard of the newly created storage account. One of the most used ways to access this storage account is by making use of access keys. Here in the setting tab, if you click on the access keys, Microsoft will create 2 keys for us to access this storage account. Now they have created these 2 keys so that we can keep repeating or keep regenerating the first key as long as we have got hold of the second key. Let's go ahead and copy the first key. This is what we're going to use for our connectivity purpose. Now remember one thing, you come to the overview section. There for connectivity, Microsoft has given one option that is open in Explorer. Clicking on the Open in Explorer will ask us if you have already downloaded the Azure Storage Explorer. If not, you can go ahead and download that. That is easy and relevant way of connecting to storage account. It gives us the GUI which is needed for us to upload, download and play around with the data which we are gonna put under the storage account. In my case, I already have downloaded that tool, so we are going to use that tool to connect to the storage account. So remember one thing, when you create the storage account, you will be given the access across these blobs, file, tables and queue section. Let's go ahead and make use of the access key which we have copied and connect to the storage account with the help of Azure Storage Explorer. So here we are on the Microsoft Azure Storage Explorer. This is the tool which we'll use to connect to that storage account which we have created. To connect to that, let's go ahead and click on this connect to Azure account. Clicking on that, it will ask us to specify either some shared access signature which we don't have currently, or we can even specify the account key. So we have copied the storage account key. Let's go ahead and push that and then click on next. Clicking on the next, it will ask us to specify the storage account name. Let's go ahead and provide that. Once you specify that, click on the next. This should enable us to connect to that. Now clicking on the connect button will initiate the connectivity to that storage account. Once connected, you can come to the local and attached section. Navigate it further, you can go to the storage account. That is where you can see the demo 2017 storage which we have just now attached. Now inside this, you can see all the 4 options available. You can play with the blob containers, you can play with the file share, queues or table. These are the 4 different services under the Azure umbrella. Now we are going to play with blob container because that is where we can keep the file storage. Let's go ahead and create a blob container for our requirement. We will name it as sample. So once we have created this container, we can go ahead and upload any of the file on this container. Let's click on the upload and click on upload files. Now to upload the file, we are going to select this file, whichever we want to upload. Let's go and select any of these. Now we are going to upload it as a blob type. Let's click on the upload button. This will initiate the upload of this file to the demo 2017 storage account. It has successfully uploaded that. To verify the same, let's go ahead and check on the storage portal. When you come on the Azure portal, here you can click on the services section. On the services, click on the blobs. When you click on the blob, it will list the sample container which we have created with the help of that tool. Clicking on that container will list the file which we have just now uploaded. So under this demonstration, we have learned how to create a storage account, and once you have created the storage account, how we can connect that storage account to Azure Storage Explorer tool. And from that tool, we have also seen how we can create a sample container, and once created, we can also upload a file to that container.